IP addresses. Now here we'll see the IP addresses. Now before going into IP addresses, you should know what is this IP addresses. So first, this IP is actually a protocol. This IP is a protocol. This protocol is a part of the TCP/IP protocol suite, and this is the one. This is one of the protocol which is introduced when the networks were introduced. Like in the early days of networks, there was not more protocols were there. So in those protocols, there are some protocols, very few protocols. Among those very few protocols, these protocols were there, like TCP and IP. And that is why the protocol suite name is TCP/IP, and this IP is a part of that TCP/IP protocol. It is the very important protocol for this TCP/IP. And what it do here? It do what? It actually provide the way the data will go from source to destination. That means how the data will reach from source to destination. The IP protocol's job is to send the data or make sure the data will reach to the right destination. And for that, what it do here, it actually provide the unique numbering system. Unique numbering system that we can give to a unique to all the nodes in the network, all the devices in the network. And that address will be the identification for those devices in the network, and that addresses are called IP addresses. So it provides a unique numbering system for the devices for us to give it to a unique devices, so that those addresses will be the identification for devices in the network. And then when the data wants to go from the source to destination, so it can go based on those addresses, and this IP will make sure that it will reach to that destination properly. Now there is one more thing, it is called MAC address. It is called physical address. Physical address is different than this IP address. These physical addresses are doing the different thing. So you should make sure, you should know what is the difference between MAC addresses and physical IP addresses. So the MAC addresses are actually physical addresses, and IP addresses are actually logical addresses. How it works? It actually do the routing. It will help you to do the routing, and the physical addresses help you to send the data within the network, within the single segment. And IP addresses will help you to forward the data across the segments. Now what that means here, when you have a LAN network here, and in the LAN network we have multiple different devices connected together. Now they will be connected together, and they will be connected using a switch. So there is a switch here which is used to connect all these devices. Now because they are connected to the star topology, you can see, and it is connected to the same network, so we can consider them as a single network. Now they will also have a unique IP addresses. The addresses, the logical addresses are there, but still the communication between these devices will be done based on the physical addresses. So basically we can say in a LAN network the communication will happen based on the MAC addresses. Now how it is possible? If you remember the OSI layer, what happened when data try to go out from this system? Suppose the data is going from this machine to this machine. So what it do? This machine will do, it will go, the data will go from the application layer to the physical layer, and then the data will go out. Now when the data will go out in the network layer, it added the source and destination IP address, that is the logical address. It added the addresses of the IP addresses of this source machine who is sending the data, and address of this destination machine who is receiving, who is going to receive the data. That is the logical address. Then on the data link layer, what your machine do, it will add the MAC address, the physical address of the source machine who is sending the data, and the destination machine who is going to receive the data. Now they are connected through the switch. Remember, they are connected through the switch. Now when the data will go here, when the machine wants to send the data, so it will send the data to switch now, because they are not connected directly, so it will go to first switch. Now switch will open the packet. Now switch will open the packet which has all the information, and it has the MAC addresses and also has the IP addresses. Now the switch is the device who is going to send the data to the right person or right device. But remember, the switch works on data link layer. That means it cannot open the layer which is having the IP addresses. It cannot open this layer. It can only open by the routers. It cannot open by the switches. So what the switch will do, switch will open the data to see where to send the data, and it will check the source MAC address and check the destination MAC address, and it says okay, destination MAC address, where is the destination MAC address? So it will see its CAM table. We know that in the switches we have a CAM table. In a CAM table it has an entry of all the ports, that on which port it is having which MAC addresses. Remember, it does not know the IP address. So it checks the CAM table, and then what? It will forward the data according to the CAM table. It says it is connected to this port, so it will forward the data to that destination machine based on MAC address, not based on IP address. So it is forwarding the data, all the data, or from one source to other destination based on MAC addresses, and that is why we say that in LAN network the main communication happens based on the MAC addresses, physical addresses, not the IP addresses. But the IP address is also important, because when the data try to enter into this destination machine, it will go through with all those layers. So when it go from the physical layer, it will accept it, then it will go for the data link layer, and here it will be checked the source and destination MAC address. Now if the destination MAC address is for this device, then only this device will accept, otherwise it will not accept. If it is not for this device, then it will drop the data and it will not go on other layers. But if the destination MAC address of this device is right, then it will accept it, and then it will do what? It will forward the data to next layer. The next layer will be the network layer. Here this machine, this device will check the source IP address and the destination IP address. That is what the logical address. And if suppose the destination MAC address is of this device, then only it will accept the data. That means if the destination address is not of this device, then it will not accept the data and it will drop the packet here. Now that means if it is not the address, if it is not for this machine, it will not accept. And if the destination IP address is right for this device, then only it will forward the data to other layers. So we can say the communication is also happening because of the IP address. But IP address is happening only at the destination device. The data is going because of the data is reaching from source to destination based on MAC address because of the switch, but the device will accept the data only based on IP address. So the IP address is right, then it will accept the data, otherwise the device will not accept the data. So both are working together. But in a LAN network, data is going from one device to other device. It is based on MAC address because the switch is working like this. Now suppose this is our local LAN here in one country, one city, and the other LAN is in another city and another country. Now we want to send data from this device to the device of that other LAN. Now in this case, the data will go because of IP addresses. So your data will go first to the switch, to the router, because the router is the device which can connect you from one subnet to one segment to other segment, or from one network to other network, or from one LAN network to other LAN network. So it is actually used to connect it to WAN, and then it will go to the destination router, and then it will reach to this device. Now this communication will happen based on the IP address, because on WAN network there is no MAC address. Here there is no MAC addresses. In WAN network there is no MAC addresses. So the communication happens on the WAN network, it is only because of these logical IP addresses. So when you send data from this device to this device, now remember the data is again going through these all OSI layers. So the data will go from network layer first. So network layer will do what? It will add the source IP address of this device, and the destination IP address will be of this device. Then what? In a data link layer, it will add the MAC address also. Now you will say, do it add the MAC address of this device? No, it will not add the MAC address of this device, because you cannot know the MAC address of other LAN device on the other side of the WAN network. It is not possible. So what it will do here, on the data link layer, it will add the destination MAC address of this router. It will add the destination MAC address of this router interface, which is connected to this LAN network. So because of that, the data will go to this router. Otherwise it will not go to the router, because the IP is not of this router, IP is of this destination machine. So it will do what? It will forward the data based on the MAC address. It will forward the data to the router. Then router will do what? Router can open the data till this network layer. Router will accept the data on the data link layer, because the MAC address is of this router, so it will accept it. Then it opens the data, the network layer, to check the source and destination MAC address, source and destination IP address. And then based on the IP address, it will forward the data to the direction of that WAN network. Now in the WAN network, it will be routed multiple times to reach the destination. And when it reaches this destination, so this destination router is connected to this LAN network, so it knows that these devices are there, and it will forward the data to that site, and then it will reaches to this machine. So in this case, these two source and destination machine don't know about anything about their physical address. They only know about their logical addresses. So this is what the difference of the physical address and the logical address. We can assume it like the physical address is like your room number in the building. Like suppose this LAN is your building, and in the building this is your flat number. The MAC address is like your flat number. Now if you send the letter from from your place to the other place, so how it will reach? You know, it will reach by the address. That address will be taken to this building, till the building. It will take you to this building. And then what? Inside the building, it will be decided by the room number. So room numbers we can assume like a MAC address. So it is just an example. So this is what the difference. Now MAC address, we cannot change it, we cannot manage it, it is physically embedded into the devices, but the IP addresses we can change, and we can decide that what IP addresses we want. So this IP protocol defines the addresses, defines the style of addresses, and we can define these addresses to these devices, and there are multiple different type of addresses we have. So when we talk about the IP, so IP is a protocol, and it is a protocol with the version, and the first version we had is the version 4. Right now we have version 6 also, but version 4 is in use right now. Version 6 is quickly taking over, but it is still, version 4 is still there. So version 4 is a 32-bit address. It is a 32-bit address, and because it is a 32-bit address, how many addresses we can have in this IPv4? We can count it by raising 2 to 32. Now why we are raising 2? Because in binary we have only 2 numbers, ones and zeros, and we can raise it till 32, so we will get the total number of IP addresses we get in IPv4. Now we have different numbering system. As we know, we have binary where we have 1 and 0, 2 numbers only. We have decimal, which we have 0 to 9 numbers. We have hexadecimal also, which is having 16 numbers. That means from 0 to 9, and then after 9 it will get A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, this IPv4 was designed in decimal. It is designed in the decimal numbering system because actually we are very used to this decimal numbering system. From our childhood, we use this decimal numbering system where we know that these numbers like 0 to 9, we only know these numbers like from 0 to 9s. So all our numbers are based on this 0 to 9, only these numbers. So these numbers are used to design this IPv4. But remember that digital machines don't understand decimal numbers. They understand binary. They understand binary, so whatever the numbers we define, whatever the letters we define, the machine, the digital machine takes it as a binary. So this networking is also digital, so we write it as a decimal, but for the machine it is a binary. And binary means, now that means what, you should know how these how we can convert decimal to binary also, so that you can do some more things in IP addressing, like we can do the subnettings. Okay, that is the different thing. First we'll see what type of addresses we have here. So in IPv4, this IPv4 is designed into 32-bit, in 32-bit and in the decimal numbering system, and it is having a unique format, like you have some numbers here and then it is divided by dot, and same as we have four parts like something dot something dot something. So this is the design of IPv4, and it is divided into 4 parts, and each part of this IPv4 has an 8-bit, and 8-bit is total is 32-bit. So every part of this IPv4 is a 8-bit, and total we have 32 bits. 8, 8, 8, 8, 32 bits. Now when we say 8 bits, so you will know, like when we convert this binary by 8 bits, that means 8 binary bits. 8 binary bits, that means you have 8 bits here. Either these bits are ones or zeros. It can be 1 or 0, like it can be all zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then dot, and then again 8 bits, then dot, 8 bits and dot, and 8 bits and dot. So it can be like this. So these are the binary 8 bits we have. Now we cannot use we don't use this binary, we don't understand it, so we write it in decimal. So when you try to write it in decimal, so you should know that how to convert it into decimal. So basically when you have all bits 0, so you will write what, the decimal value will always be 0. Now each bit has its own value, decimal value. That means the first bit value is 1, second bit value is 2, then third bit value is 4, then 8, then 16, 32, 64 and 128. So each bit, by the position it is having the value, and when some bit is on, so we can combine those on bits and give the decimal value. For example, if suppose this bit is on and this bit is on and rest of the all bits are 0, so we will not count the 0, we will count only the on bits, and that value we will do what, we will combine the values of those bits and then we will write the decimal value. Now for example, if this bit is on and only this bit is on, so now that means what, this bit value is 1, this bit value is 4, and total we get what, 5. If only first bit will be on, then we'll get 1. If only second bit is on, then we'll get 2. When only first 2 bits get on, we'll get 3. When this third bit get on, we get 4. Then first and third bit get on, we get 5. Then first and second and third bit gets on, we get 6. Then all these 3 bits gets on, we get 7, and so on. When all the bits are on, like for example, if suppose all the bits are on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, so you have to combine all the values of those bits, like 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and actually when you combine all those bits value, you will get 255. You will get 255. Now what that means, in each part of this IP addresses we have 8 bits, and if all the bits are 0 you will get 1, and according to the bits get on we get the values, and if all the bits get on then we get 255. So that means we can get the value in each part from 0 to 255. We cannot get more than 255 because there is only 8 bits we have. So these IP addresses can start from 0, 0.0.0.0, and it can end on 255.255.255.255. So the total number of addresses we have in IPv4 is what? 0.0.0.0, from 0.0.0.0 to 255.255.255.255. So this is the format of this IP addresses. Now these IP addresses is actually designed and managed by the INA. INA is the international body. It is called International Assigned Numbers Authority, and they do what? They manage it. And what they did actually, they divided these addresses into these 5 different classes. All the addresses which is starting from 0.0.0.0 to 255.255.255. They have divided it into 5 classes, different classes based on the requirement. Requirement is like based on the requirement for the organization. Like when they designed this, so they thought like some organization may be big organization, some may be the middle size organizations, and some may be the small organizations. So they designed it, they divided into different classes. So when we talk about the classes, so any address when you see, and when you talk about the class of the address, then you should only see the first part. No matter whatever we have in these other 3 parts, you have to only see the first part for the addresses. Only the first part you see, and you can decide that the address is belong to which class. So first class is class A. Now class A will start from 0. Start from 0 because these addresses will start from 0 when all the bits are 0. And it will go up to 127. Now 127, and I'm only talking about this first part. I'm not talking about all these other 3 parts. I'm only talking about this first part. That means in the first part, when you see any number from 0 to 127, it is considered to be in the class A. Now this 0 is not, it is actually reserved. We can't use this 0, and also we can't use this 127. Now why we can't use this 0 and 127? Because there is one more thing, it is called subnet mask. It is called subnet mask, and this subnet mask is also a 32-bit address. This subnet mask is also a 32-bit address, and 32-bit address, that means it is same as IP address. It is a 32-bit address divided into 4 parts of 8 bits. This is also a different address, and this is what it is called MAC address, and it is also a 32-bit address divided as in the 4 parts of 8 bits, same as IP addresses. Now this subnet mask, the job of this subnet mask is to define the network and host part of these IPs. In the IP addresses, there are 2 parts. It is divided into 2 parts. These IP addresses, all IP addresses, all classes of IP addresses are divided into 2 parts: network part and host part. And how we know, and how the system knows that which is the network part and which is the host part? It knows by these MAC addresses. So remember, there is bits here, 8 bits divided by 4 parts, 4 parts of 8 bits. So in the subnet mask, when you have bits which is on, So these on bits are considered as a network. These on bits will be considered as a network, and off bits, when the bits are off, then it will be considered as a host bits. Now what is the significance of these network and host parts? It is very simple. In the IP they have decided the rules, define the rule that when we have two devices with the similar network part, then they will be considered as a single network and they can do communication to each other. That means when we configure the LAN network, what we do, we use the same network part for all the devices. Then when we use the IP and when we configure the IP addresses to all the devices, we configure with the same network part. They will get the same network part. Whatever the network part is, that will be same for all the devices in the same network, and they will consider in the same network and they can do the communication directly. And who defines the network part? This subnet mask define the network part. Remember, subnet mask will define that this is the network part and this is the host part in the IP address. And then if the network part is different, if suppose two machines are having the different network part, like these machines are having a different network part and these machines are having a different network part. Now that means what? They will be considered as a different network now. So they will be considered as a different network. That means they are not able to do the communication directly. When they try to communicate directly, they will get error because their network parts are different. The part of the network is different. Suppose this machine's network part is 1 and this machine's network part is 2. So they cannot do the communication. But when the network part is same 1 1 1, they can do the communication. Either 2 2 2, they can do the communication. Whatever the host part is, it is not important. So if you have different network parts, then you have to use routers to do the communication. The routers are the devices which can connect two different networks, and this is different network, this is different network. So when we have an IP address, like for example this 00, so we have this address, the first address will be like 0.0.0.0, then it will go up to 127. Now what is the what the INA did, they have made what the default subnet mask for each class. Default subnet mask, that means we cannot change it. Remember, default we cannot change it. So default will remain default. So when they have decided the classes, they have decided the default subnet mask for each classes. So for class A, the default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Now what that means, the first part, you see 255, that means all the bits are on. Remember, on bits means network. So this first part is a network part and the rest of the bits are off here. That means all these parts are the host parts. So if you have any class A address and you want to do the communication with the other device, they are having a same class A address, so they should have the same first part. Like for example, this one is also class A, this 2 is also class A, because what we have addresses from 0 to 127. So 1 and 2 is also in the same class, but they cannot do the communication because their network part is different, because 1 is different than 2 at the first part. If suppose here we have 1, or if here we have in the first part 2, so it is different. So they cannot do the communication because the first part defines as a network. You can have anything on the second part, but we cannot have the same thing. We cannot have a different in the first part. Now when you talk about this address 0.0.0.0, now here if you see, because of the default subnet mask, this first part is a network part and all these three parts is the host part. Now if you see, the network part itself is a 0, that means nothing. So no matter whatever the host part is, we cannot use this address. So if you try to give this address to any device, it will not accept, it will give error. Now that is why this address, like where the first part is 0, whatever you add in the second, third, these other parts does not important. So the first part is 0, it is not able to, you cannot use it. This is what the reserve address, it is called the reserve address, we cannot use it. This is the reserve address, and reserve address, it is called the default address. We can say default address, or we can say the reserve address. Basically it is a reserve address, we can't use it, we cannot use it to any machine. Then again this 127, that means in the first part when you get 127, you cannot use it to any other machine, no matter what addresses, what numbers you have in the rest of the 3 parts, does not matter. If it is first part is having the 127, and that is the network part, you cannot use this address. It is also a reserve address, it is called loopback address. It is called loopback address. And loopback address, loop means, you know, loop means looping from round and round and round. So when you use this address, your data will not go anywhere, your data will round and round inside your device. So anything you send on this address, so anything you try to send it on this address, it will go round and round in your own device, it will not go out. It will not go out from your device, it's a software loop. And what, you cannot use this address to any other device. Like if you want to assign this address to any device, you cannot, it will give error, because it is reserved for loopback, we can't use it. This is actually used for the testing purpose for some applications, or for the developers. When they application, they can try to check the network connectivity, so they don't have any other device to test, so they can test it by their own device. They can do what, loop. So they can loop into their own device to just testing something. So actual range, if you say the class A range, it will start from 0 to 127, but the actual usable range, it starts from 1 and it goes up to 126. This is the usable range for class A. But remember, when you say what is the class A range, so the range is from 0 to 127. But when you ask what is the usable range, then 1 to 126 is a usable range, because we can't use 0 and we can't use 127. Because these are reserved for some reason. Now in this class A, it is designed by INA for the large organizations, because in this we get a lot of host addresses, because the 3 parts of these addresses are the host addresses. That means 8-bit, 8-bit and 8-bit. Total is what? 24 bits. That means in class A, a single network has 2 raised to 24 hosts. So if you want to know how many host addresses we get in one class of class A, then you can raise 2 to the number of 0 bits. Number of 0 bits, that means 8 here, we have 8 here, and we have 8 here, is total what? 24. So 2 raised to 24, you get the number of host addresses here, and that is actually 1 6 7 7 7 260. This is the total number of addresses. Total number of addresses we get in class A, a single network of class A. Single network, that means it is starting after 0, the first network will be 1, because remember the first part is 1, first part is the network, then the second network will be 2, then third network will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till 127. or till 126 usable range. So each of this network, because the first part itself is a network, so it is a network and each network has these number of addresses. So you say, what is the total number of network we have in class A? So we have 0 from 0 to 127, and the number is what? 128, because we are counting the 0. So when we add 127 and we add 0 into it, so total number of network we get is 128 number of network we get in class A. And usable network we get from 126, that means 120. We minus these two networks 0 and 2 from here. So actually usable networks we get in class A will be 126. And in each network we get this number of hosts, these number of usable host networks. Now how it works, how it actually changes the network, let me explain that one also. So how it goes, actually first suppose it starts from 1 because we can't use 0. So first address will be 0 1.0.0.0. This will be the first address, but remember the first part is the network and all these three parts are the host parts. Now until this network part changes, the network will not change. So till the network part will be same, it will remain the same network. Now how it is changed? Now the first address is this address. Now there is one more rule also. When all the host bits are 0, remember, when all bits are 0, you cannot use that address also to give to any machine. If you try to give this any device this address, that is the first address we can say, where all the host bits are 0. Remember, when the host bits are 0, you cannot use this address. This address considered to be a network address. It is called the network address for this particular network. We are right now in the network of 1, and this is the network address of this network, because all the host bits are 0. Now when the bit will get on, so how the bit will get on? So the first bit will get on first, and the first bit from the left to right. That means here we have all 8 bits 0 here. So the first bit from here will get on, and when the first bit gets on, the first bit value is 1, so you will get 1 here, and this will be the first address. Then the second address will be 1.0.0.2 here, then 1.0.0. You will get 3 here, and it will go on like this: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then it will go up to 255. Why it will go up to 255? Because when we enable all these 8 bits from here, the number we get will be 255. So what number we will get here? We will get 255 here. Now 255 means we cannot go more than 255. Remember, because we have only 8 bits here. All these bits are same, like 1.0.0 here and .255. Now we cannot enable, we cannot have any other bits here. So what will be the next address? This is still 1, the first. So network is still 1. This bit is still 0. And then the second bit was 0, and this bit was 255. Now because we cannot have any other bit, so this 255 will become 0 again. So what will change? The number of bits, the second number, the second part will change to 1. Now how it is like? It is like if you see in a watch, when you reaches to the 60 seconds, then what we get? We get 1 minute. We don't get the 61 second. So we get what? Because we have only 60 seconds. So after the 60 seconds, what we get? We get 1 minute. same as here in the IP address, when we reaches to, in a first part, when you reach to 255, then you will get what? You cannot go more than 255 because we have only 8 bits, so it will become 0 again, and the second part will change to 1. And that is like when you reaches to 60 seconds, so seconds will become 0 again, and you will get it 1 minute. It is like that. Now it will start again, that means it will go like 1.0.1.1 again, then 1.0.1.2, 1.0.1.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it will do what? It will become 255 again. Now next time when it becomes 255 again, then what happened now? This 1 will become 2. And then again it will start from 0. It will start from 0 again, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 255, and then this will become 3. Then when it becomes 255, then it will become 4. Then 255, 6, 255, 10, 255, like it goes like this. Now one time comes when this will be 255. This number will be 255, like for example 1, we have 1 dot 0 dot, and this number will be on 255. This number will be on 255, and at the same time this number will also become 255. Now what will happen next? Because this number cannot go more than 255. This one also can't go more than 255. Now let's take an example of watch. What happened when you reaches to 60 minutes? We don't have more than 60 minutes. Then what happened? We get 1 hour. So again here what happens? These two values will again become 0. And what we'll get here? This value will become 1. And we'll get 1.1.0.0, and then it will start from again 1 here. Then when it reaches 255 here, then it changes this as a 1. Then when it reaches 255, now suppose when these two again become 255, then this one become 2. Then when these two numbers become 255, then this number will become 3, and it will goes on till. Okay, now what happened? This value will be on 255, and this one is also reached on 255, and this last value also reaches to 255. Now we cannot increase these values to more than 255. Then what will change? This will change, and it will become 2, and these values will become 0 again. And then what? If you see closely, the network part is changed now. That means this 1 now becomes 2, and now here the second network will start, and this first network will close here. And whatever the IP address you have in this first network, it is between this 1.0.0.0 network address to this last address. So all these IP addresses will be considered into the same network, and the next network will start from here. Again, these all bits are 0, so these bits, this address will be considered as a network address. The first address will be 2.0.0.1, next will be 2.0.0.2, and so on. And the last address, again the last address where all the bits are on, if you can see here, the all bits of this host part is on. This address is also a special address. It is called broadcast address. Broadcast address for this network. And we cannot use this address also to any machine. If you try to assign this address to any device, it will refuse to add this because it is a broadcast address. So this network address we can't use, this broadcast address we can't use. So total number of address, you can see in a single network we get these number of total addresses, and that is how we get these number of addresses. Then the second network will start. Now if you say how many usable address we get in a single network, so you can't use this network and you can't use this broadcast, the first and last address. So you should remove two addresses, like one in this 167777216, you have to minus 2 from it to get the valid or usable addresses. So what usable addresses you get? You will get 167724. That will be the usable address in class A single network. 214. And how we are getting this total number? So it is actually a formula, 2 raised to host bits. So we have to raise 2 to number of total host bits. Total host bits, that means host, and who indicate the host? So it is indicated by the subnet mask. Subnet mask is default this subnet mask, so it indicates that these 3 parts are the host part, and these 3 parts consist of 24 bits. So we raise 2 raised to 24, we get this number of addresses. If we want to say usable addresses, then we minus these 2, network and broadcast, and we get what? These number of usable address for class A single network. And how many networks we get in a class A? So we get total number of network is 128, and we minus these 2 because these 2 are reserved here. So we total number of network we get 126 in class A. And if you say how you will get this, so there is a formula for that also. You can do what? 2 raised to network bits. You can do 2 raised to network bits. Now how many network bits we have? So as the subnet mask says that first part is the network part, and this first part is a 8 bit, so we can say we raise 2 to 8. So we get this 128, but it is not actually true. When you raise 2 to 8, the number you get is actually 256. But we are not getting 256 networks, we are getting 128 networks. So how is it possible? Where these other networks goes? It is simple. It is actually, the formula is this, 2 raised to network bits, but in the network bits you have to divide, or you have to subtract you have to minus the reserve bit. Whenever you try to count the network bits, number of network, you have to take count of these reserve bits. There is a reserve bits for each class, and the bits we cannot change actually. So the bits are, if you say what are the bits, so in the first part, remember the class is defined by the first part. So when you say in the first part, the first part 8 bits, like these 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. So this is the first part, 8 bits. Now INA has reserved a bit in each class. So when you count the network, you should remove the reserve bits. Now what is the reserve bit for class A? The first bit is reserved. This first bit is reserved, and it is reserved to be 0. This bit cannot be enabled. Now why it cannot be enabled? If you know the values of these bits, so this bit value is actually 128. Now if we enable this bit, so we have to write, in the first part we have to write 128. If you know the value for the first bit is what? 128, and if this bit gets on, you have to write in the first part, you have to write 128. But if you write 128, it will get out of the class A, because our class A is ending on 127. So it will actually get out of the class A, and that is why this bit is reserved to be 0. It cannot be enabled. We cannot enable this bit. It has to be 0. Otherwise, when this bit get enabled, this address will never be in class A. It will become class B. So in this 8 you have to minus 1, and the value you will raise is 2 raised to 7, and actually when you raise 2 to 7 you will get 128, and that is why we are getting the number of networks is 128 in class A. Now this class A is for the large organizations because it is having this number of hosts in per network. So they design it like this. So whenever any organizations wants the addresses, big addresses, then they can give this one network of class A to someone. And they did it, and they provide these addresses to some organizations. They are not using this, they are wasting it, some organizations, and now we are having no addresses remaining. And because of the addresses are very secure, we have not usable addresses available now in class A IPv4. That is why we have now IPv6. Okay, that is the different thing, but this is what the class A we have, which is ending on 127. Remember 127 in the first part, but in the first part we can have, in each part we can have a value of 0 to 255. We reached till only 127 till now. So after this 127 the class B will start. So after class A, class B will start. Remember the class A ends on 127, so class B starts from 128, and it will go up to 191. Now there is no reserve addresses here, reserve networks here. So total number of from 128 to 191 is available for us. And also the default subnet mask, they have decided the default subnet mask to be 255.255.0.0. Now here they have increased the networks and decreased the host. So where we have only 2 host parts. Previously we had 3 host parts, now we have only 2 host parts. So this is why we get less number of network than class A, and that is why we get the that is why this class is for the middle type of organizations where they have or they require less number of hosts than class A. But those type of company or organization can be many, so they have increased the networks so that they can give a same network, a single networks to each organization. Now like for example, and how it will work, like it will start from this 128 and .0.0.0 will be the first address. But remember here we have 2 parts as a network and 2 parts as a host. So when the whole network host parts are 0, the address will be called network address. So the first address will be what? 128.0.0.1. Now how it goes same as what we have seen previously. It will become 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, and when it reaches to 255, that means when we get 128.0.0.255, then again the next number will not be 256. We cannot go 256. So next number will be 0. This will become 0, and this 0 will become 1. So we get 128.0.1.0, and then it will start again from 1. This will start again from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will go to 255. Then this number will go 2. Then again when this number goes 255, this number will go 3. Now when it reaches to 128 and 0, and when this number is 255, and at the same time this number will also become 255, then what happened? The next number will change is this number. So the number will be like 128, and this one will be 1, and these 1 will become 0 again. Now there is a difference here from class A. This part is now network part. Now that means what? When it becomes 0 to 1, the network will change and the first network will end here. And this last address where all the host part is on, host bits are on, it will be considered the broadcast address for this network, and the next will be the network address for the second network. Because you can see the network part is different here and here, and this is the network, and you can see the hosts are now reduced and the network is increased, because not only the first part, this part is also using as a network. So we get more networks and we get less number of hosts. So how many hosts we get? So again you can raise 2 to number of host bits, and the number of host bits we have here is what? 16. 8, 8, 16. So 2 raised to 16 we get what? The number of hosts. So 2 raised to 16 is 65,536. This is the total number of hosts you get in a single network. But for usable host, you have to reduce these two, network and broadcast. That means you can remove these two for it, and the total usable number of hosts you get is what? 65,534. This is what in class B, each network. Now how many network we get? So network means what? We can raise 2 to number of network bits. So number of network bits are what? So number of network bits we have 8, 8, 16 again. But we have to reduce, we have to divide, we have to remove reserve bit from these network bits also, because I said each class has a reserve bits. So for class B we have these, in these 8 bits we have these first bit reserve bit. Now this bit is reserved as 1. That means this bit is reserved to be on. We cannot disable this bit. Remember, this bit value is what? 128. And if you disable this bit, if we disable this bit and if we enable all these remaining bits, you will reach only till 127. You will not reach to 128. Now what that means? It will remain in the class A. It will never go to class B. So if this bit is not on, then you can enable any of these bits. All these bits will still remain in class A. So this bit must be enabled. Because of that it is reserved, and this is reserved as a 1. It is reserved as a enabled. So we have to make sure that this bit is always enabled, and that is why this bit is reserved. This 1 bit is reserved. But in class B, the second bit is also reserved. In class A only the first bit was reserved, but in class B we have this second bit is also reserved, and this bit will always must be 0. We cannot enable this bit. Why? Because if suppose at the same time both of these bits are on, so this bit value is what? 64. And when you plus these two, 128 and 64, the value you will get is 192. And 192 means what? Out of class B. The class is ending on 191. So we cannot enable these two bits. These two bits must be like this. First bit must be on, the second bit must be 0. We cannot change this. This is reserved. So we have 2 reserved bits, and when you minus from this 2, so you will get what? 2 raised to 14. So if you want to know how many networks we are getting in class B, so you have to raise 2 raised to 14. And how many networks you are getting here is 16,384 networks we get in class B. And in each network of these 16,384 we get these number of hosts, which we can give to the host machines. This is the total number. After removing network and broadcast, we get this number of valid hosts. This is class B, but it is still not ended. We reach till 191. So there is other class which is class C. Next is class C. Now class C is for the small organizations, because even the organization is middle. Middle means what? It's 65,000 is very much. It is too much for the organization. Like organization which is needed that number of IP addresses, it will be a rare organizations. Like it will be still called a big organization. So there are some organizations will be smaller than that, which need a very less number of hosts, like 200, 100, 150, 200, like this 250. So they made this class C for them. Class C is now starting from 192, because our class B was ended on 191. So it is starting from 192 and it can go up to 223. Now remember, there is no reserve thing here. So from 192 to 223 everything is available. And now because of this range is for the small organization, they have increased the number of network. So the default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and only last host part is, we have only one part, there is a last part as a host part. So we have increased the number of network and decreased the number of host. So the address will start from here, like it will start from 192.0.0.0. Now in this, the first three part is the network part, and only the last part is as a host part. Now again the part, all the bits are 0, that means it will consider as a network address for this network. Then the first address will be what? 192.0.0.1, and it will go like that. So when it reaches 192.0.0.255, so the next number will change. Now what will be the next number? So next number will be 192.0. Now this will become 1 and this will become 0 again. Now this is different because this part is also a network part now. Now that means the first network will end here, and this address will be the last address. It is the broadcast address, and the next network address will start from here, and the next network will start from here. So this network is different and this network is different. So all the machines who's having the same network IP can communicate. This will consider as a different network. So we are seeing here that we are getting only the host addresses from 0 to 255, that is 256 number of hosts. So what we are getting here, number of hosts we are getting is, we can say 2 raised to host bit, and that is what? 2 raised to 8. Why 2 raised to 8? Because we have only one part as a host part, and when you raise 2 raised to 8 you will get 256. So total number of hosts we are getting in a single class C network is 256. But again, if you remove this network and broadcast to get the usable address, so it will be -2, and -2 you will get what? 254. So basically we get 254 usable addresses in class C. But there is, and how many networks we get? Now we see the networks are increased. Network bits are now total 24. 8 is total 24. That means if you want to know how many networks we get, so 2 raised to 24 we will do. But again we have to make sure we remove the reserve bits. So in class C, how many reserve bits we have? So in this 8 bits, the first bit is reserved, that must be enabled, and the second bit also must be enabled. These 2 bits are reserved in class C. It was like, it must be like this, 1 1. If you disable any of these 2 bits, you will never reach to 192, because 128 and 64 is combined to 192. and if you disable any of these bit, you will never reach to 192. And if you don't reach to 192, that means you will not get into class C. So these 2 bit is reserved to be enabled. Then at the same time, this third bit is also reserved to be 0. We cannot enable the third bit also. If we enable this third bit, that means we have to add the third bit value is what? 32. And when you add 32 into it, the total value will be 224. And 224 means it will be out of class C, because our class C is ending on 223. So these 3 bits are reserved, that must be 110. So when you remove these 3 bits from here, so you will get what? 2 raised to 21. And when you raise 2 to 21, you will get, we get 2,097,152. So this is the number of network we get. So number of network is increased and number of host is decreased, because they have decided like this network is for the small organizations. So this is class C. Again, it is not ended because we reached till 223. We have to have another class also. Now those classes are class D. Class D is starting from 224 and it is ending on 239. Now this class actually we can't use. This is not usable for commercial use. Only we have class A, B and C. This class D we cannot use it. This class is actually reserved for multicasting. It is reserved for multicasting communication. And we know what is multicasting. Multicasting, that means one to many but not all. These are multicast addresses. This is reserved for multicasting. It is reserved to use by some services or applications or protocols. We cannot use it. We cannot assign it on any normal devices. This is not usable. We can use class A, B and C only to devices. This range we cannot use it. It is to do the multicasting communications. Now, it is still not ended, so we have class E. I told you that we have 5 classes, so class E is also there, and the class E will start from 240 and it will go up to 255. Now this is the end of the addresses, because now we reach till 255. So the first part is now become 255. Now we cannot go more than 255. Now this range is also not for us. It is not usable. It is reserved. It is reserved by INA for research and development. Like they are doing the research and development, their engineers are using this. So this is not usable. We can't use it for any devices. This is only for research and development. So this is what class E we have. So this is what the IP addresses we have from the IP protocol. Class A, B, C, D and E. Only class A and B and C is usable. D and E. D is for multicasting and E is for research and development. We can't use this. We can use these addresses are used. The multicasted addresses are used, but it is used by some services and applications and protocol. So it is defined for them. We can't use it manually for our devices. And this is what the IP addresses we have.